Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. We've all sung it before, but the truth is, those twinkling stars are anything but little. And today, we'll explore how stars sing. A couple of years ago, NASA released the first images from the James Webb Space Telescope. Crisp, colorful images of galaxies, nebulae, and ancient starlight traveling billions of years to reach us. The beauty is staggering. The scale is almost unimaginable. It reminds me of that line from the movie Contact, when the scientist sees the wonders of the universe unfold and she's completely speechless. She whispers, "They should have sent a poet." Sometimes wonder doesn't have words, but it does have power. Let's take a look at some of those pictures from NASA. Here is a picture of Stellar Circle of Life, one of the closest galaxies to the Milky Way. Here we see pillars of creation, giant columns of gas and dust located where new stars are actively forming. And here is the Crab Nebula, the remains of an exploded star. And lastly, we have what's called a hypergiant star, 100 to 150 times the mass of the sun. It's probably impossible to get our heads wrapped around something that size. Maybe it will help if we talk about the star that we all know best, the sun. If the Earth were the size of a golf ball, the sun would be the size of a school bus. Can you guess how many golf balls would fit into a school bus? About 960,000. So imagine 960,000 Earths fit into the sun. And the sun is just one of over 1 billion stars in our galaxy. No wonder we sometimes feel pretty small. I remember one 4th of July as a small child. The park was packed with people. We'd been there all day enjoying the festivities, and now it was getting dark. People were honking their horns to signal that the fireworks were about to begin. That's when all of the crowds moved from the picnic area over to the wide open field where the cars were parked and the display would be shown. And somehow, in all of that chaos, I got separated from my parents. It was loud, it was dark, it was crowded. I felt tiny and lost in a sea of strangers. I started to cry. And then someone saw me. A kind adult knelt down, asked me who my parents were, and helped me find my way back. That moment of being seen, when I felt small and lost, changed everything. And I wonder if that's how Abraham felt. Not as a child at a fireworks show, but as a grown man trying to trust a promise that felt impossibly far away. He'd left everything. The future was unclear, and he was getting really, really old. Maybe he wondered if he still mattered. And then God said, "Come outside, look up. Look at the stars. Can you count them? So shall your descendants be." It was a reminder. You are not forgotten. You are part of something bigger. You have a place in God's story. Just like Abraham, we are seen, known, and loved by God. And not only that, but we are entrusted with something bigger than ourselves. David was also looking up at the night sky in wonder when he wrote Psalm 8. When I look at the heavens, the moon and stars you have set in place, what are human beings that you are mindful of them? Have you ever felt that? That tension between the vastness of everything out there and the wonder that God sees you? The point is not to make us feel small. David goes on to write these amazing words. You have made humans a little lower than God and crowned them with glory and honor. You have given them dominion over the works of your hands. Amazing. So God doesn't just see us. God entrusts us with care for creation, with responsibility and purpose. Even when you feel small, you matter deeply to God. You're not an accident. You are handcrafted, and you are called. Stars don't try to shine, they just do, because that's what they're made to do. And what if it's the same for you and me? You were made to shine. And when you do, others can find their way, just like the wise ones did long ago. In Matthew's gospel, wise ones from far away follow a star, and it leads them not to a palace, but to a home, to a child, to Jesus. When they saw the star, they were overwhelmed with joy. The stars don't just dazzle, they guide. And in following the star, the Magi are led to the Christ child, God in human flesh, not distant, but close, not removed, but with us. And now that same Christ calls you to be the light that guides others. Paul wrote to the Philippians, shine like stars in the world, holding fast to the word of life. You may not feel like you shine. You may feel overwhelmed, exhausted, unsure of what difference you could make. That's how I feel sometimes when I hear about big, complicated problems in our world, like greenhouse gas emissions heating up the planet, or that 500 species of land animals are on the brink of extinction, or that roughly 14 million tons of plastic make their way into the oceans each year. But the truth is, your life matters to God and to the world God made. Take Cole Rosenberger, for example. He was in the second grade when he learned that fast food packaging was destroying forests in the South. So he organized his classmates. They sent 2,500 postcards to McDonald's and then 6,000 to Kentucky Fried Chicken. In a video, I heard Cole's mom describing the kids' mindset. She said, the kids think simple. They think saving a tree will save an animal. Saving an animal habitat will save more species, will save the ozone layer. That's all they really comprehend at this age. The kids who were giving signatures were from kindergarten age through 5th grade. And it worked. Those massive companies changed their practices. One child, a bunch of postcards, and a change that protected God's creation. Cole wasn't big or powerful. He was just a second grader, but his light shone. He shone like a star, holding fast to the word of life, and it made a difference. So yes, the stars sing. They sing of beauty, of promise, of faithfulness in the dark. And so do you. You may feel small, but you are not small to God. You are seen, you are sacred, and you are sent. So live with love, care for what God has made, and live like it matters, because it does. Even a small act of care can help the whole world sing. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. You are light, you are loved, you are sent. Praise be to God. Amen.